I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 232 of the Strap Season Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, just before we kick off the episode, my usual housekeeping message, please head over to our Instagram page, which is Strap Season Podcast, or our Twitter page is Strap Season Pod. Link in the bio on both those pages there that will take you to where we're situated at streaming wise. So if you like audio, you've got the Spotify, Apple Podcast links there. And if you like visuals, the YouTube channel link is also there. Visuals are usually loaded, uploaded a couple of days after the audio drops. So whichever you prefer, just like, subscribe, leave us a good review, all that good stuff. Flowz, how have you been, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What you saying?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Last week, obviously, I was like, we haven't got any major fights coming. Well, we haven't spoken about any major fights yet, but I said from February, the big fights start to come into play, and we can really sink our teeth into some really, really cracking fights. Before we preview what we've got coming up for the week, let's talk about what we've seen, obviously, this weekend in terms of boxing wise. I think it's only fair to start from Friday, right, Flowz? Because
yeah,
Inoue, we said, was fighting against Kim on Friday. Again, context listeners, Kim, late replacement. He was meant to fight Sam Goodman. That fight fell through for the second time. Kim stepped up to the plate. Commended for stepping up to the plate. We said our prediction was what, 3 rounds, right? I said third round. You might have even said first round. I can't remember.
That has to be early.
Regardless, we said he's not going past 3 rounds. And I said this time, I think he's going to get my body shot. But unfortunately, Inoue did it in 4 instead. So we'll run one round out. But Inoue doing Inoue things, man. I mean, credit to Kim. Like I said, he was game. He actually landed some good shots a little bit, but it was never going to do anything to Inoue. And what killed me about this one, bro, was how can you as a fighter beckon the guy to come in? Because that's exactly what happened. He beckoned Inoue to come in, and Inoue obliged him and knocked him out. That is crazy. He actually, he did it twice.
Yeah.
When he was against the ropes, beckoned him in, and Inoue just missed. And then he did it again straight afterwards. And Inoue was like, all right, cool. Bang, cracked him with I think it was a big left hook. It sounded nasty as well. Obviously, we know Inoue is one of the hardest hitters in the world, but all I heard was a thump, like a boom. And this guy was down. That was it. It was done. So yeah, man, a very easy Inoue win, predictable KO victory. Yeah, he had no chance of losing this one, right?
Yeah, like you say, this guy, you get caught and he was asking for more. He was like, yeah, come, more, come.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you say, Inoue obliged, gave him more. Go about it. Yeah, it's what do you think? You say comedic, but because of how can you go like this and then get knocked out immediately?
I think the ones where you just get too brave.
Yeah. And so that's why I say you can say comedic, but you can also say very brave of Kim. Weren't running, you weren't hiding. The balls, the beckon, and in a way, there's ballsy enough. Ballsy enough to beckon Inoue to give you more or come forward. So yeah, and he proved us wrong. He lasted 4 rounds. So credit to him. Big credit to him.
Big credit. Yeah, you know what? That is like not even like being like a dickhead here, but big credit to him for lasting 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Most people would give them 2 rounds, first round. We said 3 rounds. He lasted 4. So that actually, against someone like Inoue, that's actually very admirable. Let's be real.
Yeah.
We've seen great opposition fought Inoue in the first round. So yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen better opposition celebrate getting knocked out in the 11th round against Inoue. So
you'll never forget that, will you? You'll never forget that.
I can't believe they were taking team photos for being stopped in the 11th round saying they said we'll be done by 2. The 2 rounds they said.
that is crazy. That's nuts.
So go ahead, Kim.
Yeah.
Celebrate. But yeah, shout either way, onwards
Yeah.
and upwards.
Yeah, look, we've spoken at length the last couple of weeks, I think, on this pod about what we envision for Inoue, I guess, next up.
Mm.
Obviously, with every win and every statement win that he does, they're going to inevitably call for Tank, but we've said quite clearly we don't want an Inoue Tank situation. To me, like we said, Nakatani makes the most sense. I think he said afterwards that he plans to fight in America next. So that I'm sure that'll be revealed soon. Top rank dude, like to keep him active. So yeah, but hopefully we get an Inoue Nakatani sort of matchup at some point this year. If not, just move up and just bully the weight class above, which you can do, as we know. So yeah, that's it really for me. On that one, not much more to be said, right? Cool. Let's move on to Saturday then. Because we'll start with the UK was Dalton Smith, one of our prospects. He was defending, I think, one of his European titles or something like that, one of his minor belts, against a Frenchman called Ouizza. Obviously, we pinpointed how Dalton's last opponent, Zepeda, was obviously a genuine, well-known opponent who's fought at world level for a long time, has held titles. So this Ouizza guy, we didn't really see him doing much, to be honest. And yeah, similar to what Inoue did, quicker, even quicker than even more, yeah, at a faster rate than what Inoue did. Smith has got this guy out of there in one round, to be honest. Mismatch from the get-go. Yeah, I mean, I think he dropped him with a left. This is like towards the end of the round, end of the first round, 1 minute left. He dropped him with a left. The guy took a stand, took an 8 count, and then afterwards, Smith has just hit him with another barrage of punches. And this guy, yeah, I think the towel came in.
It was one punch, bro.
Oh, was it one punch?
It was one punch.
Okay,
The
okay,
first,
it was one punch.
one punch and got him out of there
Mm,
after the first knockdown.
yeah, it was a mismatch from the get go, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. Um, Look, we spoke last week and said Dalton might need to shake off some ring rust or the
Mm,
cobwebs in a
hmm
sense, because he's been
hmm
out for so long since last year
Last
or
year, yeah,
uh,
March last year, I think.
yeah, and he's done this guy in one round. He looks sharp. What I like to
Yeah.
see was him focused. He looks super focused in there. He looks like he was watching, paying attention. Yeah, really, really watching and keeping his timing on Walid, and every 1-2 was landed flush. Every 1-2 he threw was like from the first one to him getting out of there. Every shot was landing. Then he started hurting and wobbling. Is it Walid Uza? Is it?
Yep.
Oh,
Uza.
yeah.
Yeah, Uza. Yeah.
And then yeah, got him out of there. Tao came in, ref wavering it off all at the
Yeah.
same time.
Same time. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like we said last episode, activity now, Dalton.
Yeah.
Get back out there
Because, look,
ASAP.
look, let's be real. This Weezer guy was a step back from Cepeda, let's be real, in terms
Yeah,
of quality opposition. So
that's what we said.
that's we said he was gonna, we expected him to come through this quite comfortably. One round, just again, kind of signals just how much because he stopped Cepeda in like 5-6, I think, which at the time we
Yeah.
said was also very impressive. So yeah, this guy was a step back. He took him out of there. I mean, we're gonna discuss Adam Azim soon, but yeah, I mean that fight didn't happen. It was ordered at one point. Before he moves on to, let's say, world level fights, bro, or challenges, gets himself in position to challenge for world titles, would you want to see that Adam Azim fight? Obviously, subject to how Adam Azim does against Lipinets, which we'll discuss, like I said.
I expect to see it down the line at this point.
Mm,
I don't expect to see it anytime soon.
yeah.
But also down the line could make it more difficult because
Yes.
um, I,
Well,
I I don't think the boxer side have been too willing to engage, or it
they
seems
haven't,
like Dalton Smith's
but
side want to engage and
yeah.
Azim's side don't. So I don't know if
But
it's going to get more difficult.
agreed. But Flows, we've got to factor in now with boxing anything these days. We've got to factor in his excellency. So
Yeah.
him being involved now, he's involved with Boxer too.
Mm.
A lot of these matchups, which we said unrealistic or don't expect to see it soon, with him in the frame, we're gonna see. I think there's a higher percentage of seeing some of these fights now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
If
can
the,
it can
yeah.
happen. I think.
if the demand starts to increase, and because yeah, if there's demand from it and they're both holding belts, then I put my faith in His Excellency to make it. That's why I expect to see it later than sooner, if anything.
Yeah, yeah. But I look, it's either they go through each other before they take the next step up to challenge, because they're two of our best 140-pound prospects, right? Quite clearly, they're way ahead of everyone else.
Yeah,
So it's either they go through each other before they then take the next step up, which is world level step up, or they go separate routes for world titles. There's four of them. So, and then we see them meet in the middle at some point when they're both at that world stage. I don't mind. Either or works for me, to be honest, bro. But it's a good rivalry that they have already, kind of, in terms of the respective promoters saying, let's make this fight, let's make this fight. And I don't doubt, obviously, his side might not want it, but I don't doubt that Adam Azim looks at Dalton and thinks, yeah, I can beat this guy. I want to fight him. You know what I mean? So hopefully yeah. He doesn't seem like a ducker to me, Adam Azim. He seems like he's on it as well. It's just more Ben Shalom. Yeah. But yeah. Great win for Dalton, regardless, as expected. Hopefully we get there. Like you said, Flowz, we hopefully get to see him out soon again, sooner rather than later. Potentially maybe 2 more fights this year will be good for him, I feel like. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, trying if we can find opponents on the level of Zepeda, not so much a Ouizza, it's going to help hold him in good stead, and it's going to do much better for him than this fight. He wouldn't, we've learned nothing from this fight, and he would have learned nothing from taking this guy out in 1 round. So yeah,
you would have had harder sparring than that for sure.
Yeah, facts, big facts. I don't know if you saw it, Flowz, but there was a nice win for Eddie Scotney as well on the undercard.
Yeah.
She beat is it Motu, New Zealand fighter. Was active, to be honest. Active fight, as we know with women's fights, they're always active. And yeah, they got to cracking quite easily, quite quickly. Back and forth action in portions. I think Scotney sort of took control towards the latter end of the fight. And she was, my scoring. She was justified to get that win, but that UD win. But I want to credit Motu for, even though she started to lose rounds, she still made it an active fight, and Scotney couldn't really rest and chill because Motu was super game. So yeah, I another enjoyable women's boxing fight. How did you find it, bro?
Yeah, good fight. I didn't watch it live, so I watched it afterwards, and I saw people singing Eddie Scotney's praises. Her footwork, her balance, and yeah, I can only agree from what I saw.
Yeah.
So that was a unification, right? Is that what you said?
No, what was it? Unification? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
unification. So yeah, look, she's wants big fights now, and I think she deserves it. So yeah, time to put it in with the other names.
Word.
But yeah, she's been on our prospect list. We graduated?
No, she graduated. She graduated.
Yeah, she's title holder. Yeah, so she's
flying colors. Come on,
graduated. First. So yeah, more of the same, really. Start putting in more of these big fights.
Cool. Let's quickly segue over to America, because I think the fight of the weekend that sort of captured our most attention, Flowz, was this Diego Pacheco, Steve Nelson fight. And obviously, when I read out Nelson's resume and his age and whatnot, I know you got intrigued. You think, this guy's got good KO ratio, undefeated. Yeah. He might bring something to the table. After we finished recording, I think a couple of days later, obviously we've seen some of the build-up between the two camps.
Yeah.
And you've discovered that this guy, Nelson, is trained by Bomac.
Yep.
And I know that straight away, that interest skyrocketed for you for this fight.
Yeah.
Because Bomac, in obviously typical Bomac fashion, was chatting the most, chatting smack, saying yeah. And obviously Crawford was in the cut as well.
Yeah.
And they're all saying, yo, they seem mad confident, right, bro? Mad confident that their guy was going to upset the apple cart here. They were sort of marketing him as almost like a best-kept secret. He's from Omaha. He's very close with Terrence. He's actually Terrence Crawford's sparring partner. They spar a lot. So we weren't aware of this at the time, obviously. So when we seen all this, we were both kind of thinking, oh, okay. Yo, this is definitely one to pay. And like I said, bro, they seem confident, right? Super confident.
Yeah. Well, I saw that, because obviously we spoke about last year. You like you say, you read out his his
Yeah.
resume, well, more his age, his knockout
Yeah.
ratio. He's
Yeah.
undefeated. I never heard of him. I'm thinking, wait, he can't be a prospect as such, but he bans 36.
Yeah.
So then when I see whose camp he's with, I'm like, yo, he's definitely serious.
Bro, sometimes,
He's no
just to
suit
say,
cat.
sometimes the camp speaks.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to say nothing. The camp will speak
Yep.
for you. So we're
And
seeing the characters. I'm seeing Boback. I'm seeing Bud's guy, Bernard.
yeah, but yeah, was it
Bernie.
Bernie Davis? Yeah, in the cut. Always joined as well.
So I'm there thinking, okay.
And then you start to realize who Bomac has trained in the past.
Yeah,
Heron.
come on.
So you're like, okay, I hear he's an army veteran. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
In fact, he's got a bit of a mad story as well. Obviously, the army veteran.
yeah.
I think he got shot in spine or something, and he almost got paralyzed. Could have been paralyzed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just
The whole
crazy
camp
story.
whole
Yeah,
camp
but I was
was
like,
mixed.
bro, Omaha sounds crazy, by the way. Omaha sounds nuts.
Yeah,
But yeah.
so I see whose camp he's with. So I give him more respect of that. So I was like, yeah, he has to be certain.
Yeah.
Bomac's talking, and I was like, before I get carried away with how confident Bomac is, Bomac's always confident. Always confident, always talking, always trying to get into the head of your opponent. So I was like, yeah. Last episode, my interest was peaked. Now I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, word.
And look, I think the fight delivered.
The fight. Let's talk about the fight, because this was actually a super enjoyable fight for me anyways. I enjoyed the fight. There was no knockdowns. It wasn't like there was no knockdowns, but it was competitive from the jump. I want Steve Nelson, like I said, I wasn't familiar with you, but I'm happy with what I saw. He brought it to Pacheco. Pacheco rightfully was the favorite, and I thought Pacheco would win. But I said, I expect maybe this guy to test Pacheco at least. And he did test him in portions. Obviously, we know Pacheco, his strengths are that he is a big matchup problem for that division, given that he's 6'4", and he's got a crazy long reach as well. Similar to what Hamza Shiraz is in his division, Pacheco is like that in super middleweight, right? So he's very tall, very rangy, and this guy was giving up a good couple inches in reach and height as well. So I kind of had a suspicion that this guy obviously was going to try, his only chance really would be try and box on the inside and try and press and pressure Pacheco and step to him. And that's exactly what he did from round one. Tried to do anyways. He was on the front foot, trying to push Pacheco back, coming in, sort of rushing in, almost Sean Porter-esque in a way. Very busy, very active. And Pacheco was having to fight on the back foot and try and keep this guy at bay with his length, his jab, and good footwork. And that made for, I think the first round was a bit cagey, bro, but it kind of warmed up with each coming round. It warmed up and got more warm. And they then started to, really throw hands, both Nelson and Pacheco, especially in the middle portions. And, that's what made for a really enjoyable fight. I like the work from both guys, but before I'll let you jump in, because it's Pacheco that really impressed me the most as the fight went on. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the work from both guys early on?
Yeah, I could see exactly the game plan from Nelson. Before I even get into it, let me shout out Sean Porter Cobbs. He was killing me.
What do you think of his performance?
I thought it was good. I thought entertaining. He was killing me, referring back to himself and pushing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he loved referring it back to himself. There was one time, because obviously they were talking about how Nelson was smothering his work.
Yeah,
and Porter was like, yeah, they say that about me, that he's smother work, but really and truly, I'm shortening the distance. It's the gap. I'm not giving them a chance to work. And I thought to myself, this guy.
He always ran to himself, defended himself. So he was killing me. But yeah, shout out Sean Porter Cobbs. I thought he made it enjoyable as well.
Yeah, sure.
So but yeah, Nelson was coming forward, applying pressure, and you could see that he was really trying to take away Pacheco's reach and whatnot by getting close to him, which is what you kind of have to do anyway. Now, at the same time, Pacheco's comfortable with that as well. He showed he can handle it. He showed he could box it, and he was landing some great shots. Well, both guys were landing great shots, but I was really impressed with Nelson's resilience and his strength and his heart, because he wasn't going. He was getting caught with shots and he wasn't going. And he was, every time he would reply with his own attempts to fight back, But yeah,
Hmm.
Pacheco showed some real slick stuff in there. The uppercuts were landing beautifully all night for me. Uh, but yeah,
I
great
think
fight.
I think towards now, obviously, Pacheco starts to pull away after the middle portions, right, bro? For me,
Yeah,
and that's when we're really seeing him dip into his bag. I think Nelson, clearly a superbly conditioned athlete, because some of these shots that he got hit with, especially towards the end of the fight, bro, were disgusting. Real big. And Pacheco is heavy-handed. We know this. You can see the knockout ratio that he stops most guys. But I think just his Nelson being so well conditioned and just his will to just not give in and not to take a step back, which is obviously we know what Team Bomac is about. He
hmm,
wasn't going to go. But what I'm seeing from Pacheco later on, obviously you saw that slick stuff, amazing counter punching, great shot selection. The uppercut, as you said, wasn't missing all night. He was able to take a step back each time when Nelson tried to come forward and crack him with a hook, step aside, slide away. It was wonderful stuff. And he really then, to me, he started to dominate the latter rounds, bro. Pulled away, completely pulled away. You're seeing Nelson's activity kind of stop or slow down. And then Pacheco's then becoming more the aggressive and, and walking him down to land his shots. And yeah, similar to Hamza, right? He's obviously that tall and rangy, but he can clearly crack and got clearly got good boxing skills as well for someone that's so tall and and lanky. You know what I mean? So, he's definitely something that's he's definitely got so much potential to go Pacheco. Only 23, 24, right? So he's still got bags of time. Um, and again, credit to Nelson because even though he was getting caught with some big shots, he himself was still trying to, land his own shots. And he let 12th round, especially, bro, that 12th round was a cracker.
yeah,
Cracker because
brilliant
he
rounds.
caught Pacheco early and you see Crawford go crazy. He caught Pacheco early and obviously he gets that renewed vigor to try and, try and get something because by that point he needed a knockdown to win the
Yeah,
fight. He was miles behind.
knockout.
But yeah, he just rocked out in that 12th round.
Yeah,
And that's what made, and then Pacheco obviously responded himself. So even though that he was, losing and losing by a lot, he still kept it competitive, bro, by being in there and trying. And that's what you can ask for from a fighter. There was one or two times I thought, oh, he might go. He's definitely hurt, clearly hurt. But the way he would just suck it up and just, rock out, very, very commendable. Very, very commendable. So yeah, for me, it was a super enjoyable fight. Credit to both fighters. It's a shame that Nelson is 36. Um, but yeah, Pacheco needs fights like that, man. He would have learned so much more with that fight, and yeah, he moves on.
yeah. I think that's the key because we even questioned. This seems like a strange pick by Pacheco. You're picking someone
Yeah.
who's relatively unknown, great record,
Hmm.
strong, knocking people out,
Yeah.
and then now we discover whose camp he's with.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you're taking high risk, no reward, no reward
Yeah.
fight at this point. But the reward was that experience,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
experience that he gains from fighting someone like Nelson, someone who's been in camp with Bud,
Hmm.
Herring,
Hmm.
Bomac, trained by Bomac. That's
Yeah.
experience you don't just find. So a very smart and brave pick to step in there with Nelson. And they
For
said they were
sure.
surprised Pacheco took it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came through. He came through that and it impressed me. I guess the casuals
Look,
won't be lit up by it because they won't really pay attention. But for
no, that
him,
was a
long
cracking
run,
fight, man. Yeah, man.
yeah. But I guess as well, what helps brings people's eyes is Crawford's antics throughout the week, and then Crawford even just being there, he was killing me.
I was waiting for you to mention it. The wrestling, right?
Wrestling at a venue that is like
But he does this though. We
all
don't. He
the
does
time.
this all the time.
You see him pull up wrestling in the street with random people. Yeah, he always smiling. Yeah, that man are crazy there.
Yeah. What make of you? Obviously, post comments. I know Munguia's been floating. No, Munguia. They're talking about maybe Munguia potential opponent for Pacheco next. Berlanga has been talked about. I would. Yeah, man. Obviously, they mentioned Canelo as well. Obviously, it's way too far for Canelo. Um, Munguia. I think before I see him against someone like a Munguia, I want to see Pacheco fight another sort of opponent similar to a Nelson or that sort of caliber, someone that can
Yeah,
push him before he jumps into a Munguia because I just think Munguia is slightly ahead in his development. Well, not slightly. clearly
Way
ahead.
ahead.
And it's
Yeah.
way ahead. So, and Berlanga now has kind of jumped into that as well because he's fought Canelo, right? And
Yeah.
gave a good account of himself against Canelo. But I do think a Berlanga Pacheco fight in the future could be great. Or
Yeah.
Pacheco Munguia. But I want to see Pacheco have one more Steve Nelson type fight or a well-known name that's good and can push him for me before
Yeah.
he's ready to jump in there.
Yeah, I think he needs a few more fights. He needs to beat people who other people have beaten.
Uh-huh.
So other
Uh-huh.
names that have go through the gears, go through the levels before he
Uh-huh.
jumps in there with a Mungia or
Yeah.
even a Belanga at this stage. Belanga's
Yeah.
steps up now. He can't
Yeah.
he can't step back down really.
Yep.
He's got hang Caleb Plant. I see him and Caleb Plant going back and forth.
They've been going back and forth for a year.
So he's got to hang around them boys now. And
Yeah.
I know Jaime Munguia,
Hey.
he's got thoracic problems to resolve. So before we get to them, man, Pacheco can still perfect his
Deep it.
craft.
That division is stacked, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Look, literally, a couple of weeks ago, the flavor of the month was Mbidi. Remember?
Yeah.
And
We said,
we another one. So he's there as well. Mbidi's there. Obviously, I've been seeing a lot back and forth between Boo Boo and Charlo. They've been talking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, all these guys are still about. They're all still about.
Mhm.
All probably still hope for Canelo payday, but they're all still about. So yeah, man, it's a very stacked division for sure. So there's a lot of weeding out that we can do to see the cream rise to the top, as we always see on this pod in it. So yeah, but yeah, definitely Pacheco's most impressive performance. More of that, please, Diego. Good win. Shout out to Team Benavidez. Obviously, we know he's trained by Benavidez Senior. Yeah, and we'll talk about Benavidez in a bit. Yeah, let's segue over to next week, bro, because there's quite a few fights for us to get through. Exciting week of boxing, I think. Just it's worth mentioning before we get into the big fights. Derek is fighting on Fridays and he flows against Lidard. I think Derek's probably used to being an underdog and he needs fights by now. But let's hope that he can upset. It'll be good to see if he can upset the upper card. But credit to him as well, because obviously his last fight was painful loss in it. So it's good to see him bounce back quickly and get active again quickly. So I think some credit needs to go that way, innit?
Yeah, it should be a good fight. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes. But
We'll see how it goes.
I'm not too familiar with this Lindard guy.
I'm not either. I know he's from Essex, that's all I know.
But yeah, he seems to be someone they might want to get behind. So I guess this is his first real test at this point.
For sure.
This is his test at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be a good fight.
We'll start with the UK. We've already mentioned you mentioned him first actually on this pod, Adam Azim. He's fighting on the 1st of Feb, Wembley headline. I think is this his first headline card?
I think he's headlined before.
I don't see if he's headline before, but not to the level of OVO Wembley Arena, right? So yeah. Against a guy we know very, very well, to be honest, bro. Sergey Lipinets. We've seen him we've seen him fight a lot of well-named. Let me get his resume up for people. Lipinets. We've seen him against the likes of obviously Mikey Garcia way back in 2018. He lost that fight. That was, we can't forget that Lipinets was a world title. Yeah, Boots, stopped by Boots, Costio Clayton, Omar Figueroa Jr. He lost to the fake Ali guy, Rivera.
Yeah.
The Puerto Rican Ali, as they call it. We saw him against Robbie Davis Jr. in his last fight, and he beat Robbie Davis Jr. Look, Lipinets is someone that, like I said, formerly a quality operator. Don't forget, he was a world champion at 140 before.
Yeah.
He lost that title to Mikey Garcia, actually, when I mentioned Mikey Garcia. But like I said, the point is, he's been at that level, that world level. He's fought against world-class fighters. This is Adam Azim's, really and truly, his hardest test. Should be his hardest test to date, right? Against someone the quality of Lipinets. And we can't forget, Adam Azim is only 12 fights in to his young career. So I'm happy to see him. I think, look, boxer, we know they're very, very protective of Adam, but to be fair to them, they're moving him the right way. I think last fight was O'Hara Davis, which was kind of a step up at the time as well. So to go from O'Hara to Lipinets, we can see they're trying to get him against this quality, the caliber opposition. And I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for this fight. I think it'll be a good fight. I think Adam Azim will get the W. And to be honest, bro, I can't shake your feet. I feel like he might wash him, you know.
Lipinets, yeah, could do.
I feel like Azim might wash this guy, you know. I'll be so real. I think he definitely has the capability of doing it.
Stop him.
Stop him. Yeah. Yeah, I think he can stop him. But if I just I think he's
Only
definitely
Boots
gonna cook him.
has. Only Boots has
True.
stopped him.
Yeah.
Only Boots. And that was at 147, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So.
that was one. I think he can do it. It's not obviously it's an older Lipinets now,
Mhm.
especially like, how old is he now? I think he's about 35, 36. It's not the same Lipinets, as we know. Right time to catch him. It's a massive statement if he stops him, but I definitely think Adam Azim has the capability. I do think, okay, I think it'll be a UD. I just think he washes him. He might drop him a few times, but if anyone can do it, I think Azim can do it, man. I think he can stop if he needs to.
Yeah. Let's call it a spade a spade. This is an over the hill Lipinets at
Yeah.
this point. I don't think he's fought since the Rivera loss.
No, he fought against Robbie Davis Jr.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
last year. Yeah.
Um, well, Robbie Davis Jr. is finished anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a past his prime Lipinets. So
Yeah.
it's a good time for Azim to come in and get
Mhm.
him out of there, almost send him to retirement if you can.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I expect Azim to win.
Mhm.
It'll be a bit peak if he struggles or
Eesh.
goes through hell. I would say at this point.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I agree with you. You could wash him. You could stop him.
Mhm.
Stop him would be a good statement. Would be a good statement.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
it's a good name to have in your resume and a good step up. They're moving him right, like you say. So
Yeah.
yeah, it should be. You should try and put on a show, boost his
Mm.
resume even more.
Yeah. It's for the minor belts as well, for the IBO 140-pound belt. So yeah, just that as well up for grabs. But yeah, I'm looking for Adam Azim to make a statement here. Dalton kind of did so. Obviously, one of his chief rivals here in the UK. Obviously, albeit against lesser opposition, but still, stop the guy in 1 round. I don't expect Lipinets to get cooked in 1 round, but like I said, it'll be a great statement if Adam Azim can wash him, and he definitely has the ability to do so. So yeah, I'll be rooting for Adam. I think he'd be a good fight as well. Um, yeah, just beat the fight out of Sergey. Beat the fight out of him, and yeah, do your thing, and you'll be able to move on to whoever's next, whether it's a Smith, whether they try and get the Harlem Eubank thing going again. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I don't even know why that fell through. I can't remember, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I'm sure they're gonna look to try and move him correctly.
Yeah, yeah. Look, even with all that being said, Libinets is still an experienced operator. So
Hmm. Hmm.
um, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's never been a bum. No, yeah,
Yeah,
he's never
never,
been a bum. So I
never.
wouldn't say he's even at this stage is a bum, but he's definitely past his best. So
Yeah,
should still be a good fight.
for sure, for sure. Um, the big one then. Let's talk about it, bro. The first big PBC card of the year. David Benavidez versus David Morrell Jr., the Battle of the Davids, up at light heavyweight, 175 pounds. A lot has been talked about
Oh,
this
it's a
one.
175.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh yeah. Of course it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Of course it is. Yes.
Remember, Benavidez moved up and Morrell
Yeah.
followed him.
We followed him
So,
straight away. I remember
so
that. Yeah.
this has been in the making for what, 2 years now, kind of. Morrell's been calling out David Benavidez for a while.
Yeah.
And we've kind of said that, hey, slow down. You're still in the infancy of your pro career. Like, I don't think you want any of those problems, especially when Benavidez has been on a tear, right? Big tear of just beating guys that we said he should be beating or said he should be fighting. Proved himself and improved a lot as well. But Morrell has just been confident from day one. I remember we even said, we were like, why is it so? And then obviously, Flowz, you were saying it's because he's seen what we used to see when it came to Benavidez.
Yeah.
Benavidez back in the day was very hittable, very
Yeah.
exposed defensively, took risks defensively, and as they say, we've seen the color of his boots. We've seen him touch canvas. Who put him down? Was it the Frill Gavril?
Yeah, Gavril. Gavril.
So maybe he saw what we saw back then, but let's call a spade, bro. Benavidez has
Mhm.
improved defensively. He's just improved as a fighter. I
Yeah.
think he's taken the game a lot more serious. Back then, he wasn't that serious. We've seen him have issues with weight, and I think he got done for drugs once, right? Or maybe once or twice, maybe.
Yeah.
Missed weight. Was it cocaine? I swear it was cocaine.
Yeah. Was that him or his brother? Yeah, it was him. Yeah, it was
It
him.
was him. It
Yeah,
was definitely
yeah,
him. Yeah,
yeah,
it was him. It was
cocaine.
him.
Yeah,
It was
it was
him.
him.
It was
Yeah,
him.
it was him.
He didn't really live the life, correct life.
Yeah.
He even admitted himself, like he didn't take it seriously.
Mm.
But he's knuckled down and he takes his camp seriously and he trains more efficiently. And I think we've seen the rewards, right?
Mhm.
He's. I remember you were clear in saying, you want him to answer certain questions that you had for him. You want the Canelo fight, show you deserve it. Beat all your peers, the K the Plants, the Boo Boo Andres. He's beaten them brilliantly
Yeah.
as well. Might
Yeah.
add. So,
Gavodzic.
Kovalski's as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's fought top quality guys last
Mm.
couple fights. Morrell, on the other hand, just doesn't have that resume. We have to say, bro, obviously Morrell is still 11 fights into his career, 27 years old. Obviously, we know he's Cuban, so he's got an extensive amateur background. I think over 130 something amateur fights, 130 wins, 5 losses. So obviously, that Cuban background in terms of amateur boxing was always going to be strong. But he's fought guys that I do know, so Kaladzic, Falcao, but obviously they're not at the level of the opponents that Benavidez has fought. But being said, bro, like I said, I would have preferred if this fight happened later down the line in terms of Morrell getting a bit more pro experience. But him and this team have been bullish. They've been calling out Benavidez for time. Is this a case, bro? Do you reckon, of be careful what you ask for?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think, look, Morel's what, 10, 11 fights in?
11 fights in, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, he hasn't gone through the same fire that
Mm-hmm.
Benavidez has gone through. Benavidez has spent time in the pro game fighting, especially the last few fights. He's really
Mm-hmm.
stepped up in level, went up to light heavyweight, straight to Gavodzic.
Mm-hmm.
Respect for that. Off the back of beating a Demetrius Andre, the Caleb Plant. So he's got that experience under his belt. Now look, amateur experience, yes, Dave Morrell Jr. has that, but this is a pro game.
Mm-hmm.
And Benavidez' style is very much suited for the pro game.
Yeah.
His whole style.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's probably come too soon, or even arguably too late for David Morrell Jr., if that makes sense.
Should
If you
should
call
should
it,
have should have fought the old Benavidez, right?
yeah, if you got that
Yeah.
old Benavidez, that
Yeah.
I know that's the Benavidez he wanted.
Yeah.
I know that's the Benavidez he wanted. That's why he's been calling out for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different Benavidez now, and I don't think it's a different David Morrell as
Yeah.
such, because he hasn't stepped up in the levels as such.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'd have to favor Benavidez just
Facts.
off
I
that.
I do favor Benavidez in this. I think, like I said, where he's at right now, the tear he's on, the momentum he's got, it's just gonna be too much for Morrell. And I've enjoyed the build up. There's genuine needle between the two, and I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be a very fiery occasion in the ring that night as well. Very fiery between the two. And like I said, Morrell has got skills and he's got ability for sure. It's just too soon for him, I think. And like I said, I'll be surprised if if he pulls this off. It's a huge upset in my books, to be honest, because of the fact that when Benavidez is standing in the game compared to Morrell Jr.'s. But yeah, I think it'll be a firefight in portions. But I think that Benavidez' engine will eventually just start to come into play as it always does, and it's pretty inevitable. Once he gets going, he's very, very hard to stop and box against. So yeah, man. I'm hoping he continues his good. Like I said, I've been praising defensively recently, Benavidez, and I hope that continues on Saturday night. But yeah, I just think it's just a bit too soon for Morrell, unfortunately. And yeah, it is what it is. But luckily, he's young and it's still early in his career, so he can bounce back from this. But like I said, I do think this is a case of be careful what you ask for. Unfortunately, he's got to follow through. He asked for it. You got to follow through. It's here now. And Benavidez might even be frustrated that he hasn't been able to get the Canelo fights. He might want to take some frustrations out on the loudmouth that's been calling out his name and going at him for such a long time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it though, man. The pull-up's been hilarious. You're on mute, by the way, bro.
and chasing him up divisions as well.
Bro, literally, he's been following him. He actually genuinely has been like coming like a stalker, man.
He had the opportunity to settle super middleweight and
Yep.
go through the process there. Nope, went straight up to light heavy. So yeah, I
Well,
don't know. I don't know.
fair play, man. Super confident, but yeah, I'm expecting Benavidez to come through this. Um, Now, obviously, this is for the one of the regular light. I think it's the is it the WBA? Oh no, the WBC light heavyweight title, like the interim. Um, do you obviously we're talking about we're going to talk about I think next week obviously one of the best cards in history, the rematch between Bivol and Beterbiev. Obviously that's for all the marbles at light heavy. I've mentioned it before, bro. I don't know if you've changed your opinion or if you have the same opinion, but in terms of potential for the winner fighting the winner of that fight, would you like to see that potentially or not really? Depending
I
on
think
if it's
so.
going to be a trilogy, because I guess if Bivol wins, they'll probably put the trilogy go on our tables, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I think yeah. If Bivol wins, then trilogy.
yeah,
If Beterbiev wins, then I think the winner should fight the loser.
okay.
Or fight
So
Bivol. Essentially, yeah. If Beterbiev wins, then I think
okay,
Bivol versus Benavidez
or Morrell,
would or
right?
Morrell. Yeah.
Okay, so you
Um.
wouldn't want them to go straight for the big fish straight away?
Nah.
No, okay. Why is that?
Um. Because I think these two.
They haven't earned it, right? I like heavy.
Yeah. Well,
Obviously. Yeah.
they're clearly the best, Beterbiev and Bivol. Like off
Yeah.
that first fight, they're clearly the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think um, uh, uh, going for two, I envision Bivol versus Benavidez because there's already been talks about them. Bivol's beating Canelo.
Uh-huh.
Benavidez wants Canelo. I
Right.
think Benavidez beating Bivol opens more doors for him in terms of
Right. Okay. Okay. I
Canelo
see the
fight
logic.
or
Or
Beterbiev fight.
Beterbiev. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I think going into Beterbiev and losing doesn't really do anything to
Hurts.
him. Yeah, it hurts him in a
Yeah.
sense. If he loses
Yeah.
to Bivol, it doesn't hurt him too much because he can go down. Yeah, if he loses or beats Bivol, it doesn't hurt him too much. He gains from it almost in a sense because Canelo lost to Bivol.
People. Yeah.
And it just shows that he's not ready for Beterbiev. So cool,
Uh-huh.
Canelo route. But if he beats him, then he has Beterbiev route with Canelo route. And
Okay.
they've sparred, they've had back and forths, or not back and forths as such, but Benavidez is hinting that he got the best of Bivol in
Yeah.
sparring.
As we know, he would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course he would say that. So
I doubt it, but fair enough.
okay,
Go off.
maybe yeah, maybe you did, maybe in your eyes you did, but let's see what happens if you actually fight. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, sparring. Whatever happens, inspired
Bro.
happens.
Bro. Bro.
But yeah,
We said this many times. Yeah. Cool. Okay. No, I hear the logic. Fair enough. Uh, I'll be happy to see him go for the winner, to be honest. But
yeah.
loser, I don't mind either. They're both amazing, so it makes no difference. But yeah, I've probably favored towards going straight for the winner, only because as well, just let's say Batav does win. I don't know how long Batavia's got left really in the game. He's almost 40, to be fair. It's one of them ones where
Think Benavidez can beat Beterbiev?
oh no, probably not. But
Yeah, that's what I
I think,
think.
but I think it makes for an exciting fight.
Yeah,
Styles,
yeah,
because
it definitely
Benavidez is going to
does.
come forward.
It definitely
They're
does.
both for the big. They're both very good come forward fighters, so it's going to make for a cracking fight, I think. So, for
Yeah,
my eyes will be pleased.
yeah,
And I'm just frustrated. Obviously, I'm frustrated with the whole Canelo situation. Really and truly, I wanted Benavidez to stay at 168 and fight Canelo. As you said, we felt like he earned it, but Canelo didn't want any parts of it. So I kind of feel like Benavidez deserves some kind of reward for just the tear he's been on and the work he's put in. And if it's not Canelo, cool. Maybe he gets one of the big fishes at 175. That's my thinking towards it, really. But yeah, whether it's Bivol, whether it's Beterbiev, they're all cracking fights with Benavidez in the picture. So yeah, well, if he wins, Morrell might upset. We'll see.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But the undercard is PPC. Also, we know we tried to stack this undercard. I'm sure they were feeling very pleased with themselves. I saw His Excellency came through with that Sevilla Bivol rematch card, but let's not hate or anything. This is a very strong PPC card. The chief support, Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa for the WBC World Featherweight title. That is a rematch. Their first fight, bro, remember, was a cracker.
Yeah,
Very, very good
yeah,
first fight. Absolute cracker. I don't think this would be as good as the first fight, to be honest. But yeah, it should be interesting. I'm not too sure,
Fulton took it, didn't he? It was
Yes,
controversial.
it was
Fulton took
close.
it. Yeah,
It was close.
yeah,
It was look, your workhorse fighter, your workhorse
yeah,
Mexican fighter versus the slick counter puncher. I'll probably say Fulton just landed the better shots,
yeah. I
which is
think
why
I'll
we give
give
it to him.
Fulton.
But I can see the argument why you would give it to activity of Figueroa.
I know
But yeah,
Figueroa was fuming. He was livid.
he was livid. No, and no,
He was
look, bro,
livid.
it was close. It was like I said, we've seen it so many times. Do you prefer the work rate or do you prefer the effective punching? We like effective punching on this pod. Some people like work rate. It is what it is. But I feel like Figueroa might take this one, the rematch. Only because Fulton has looked a bit hickey since obviously, no shade and lose to Inoue the way he did. No shade.
Yeah,
We should discuss Inoue at the top of this pod. One of the best in the world.
yeah,
Cool. But I don't know if you saw his comeback fight, bro.
yeah. Didn't look great.
He looked horrible. He looked horrible. He snuck he got the split decision win, but it was tough. It was tough. He did not look good at all. I think since the loss, I'm pretty sure Figueroa has been pretty good, I think, since the loss. Let me check. Um, yeah, I mean, he beat Carlos. He stopped Carlos Castro. He beat Magsayo. I don't remember him. He was good.
Yeah, Mark McIntyre.
He stopped Mark Magsayo. Yeah, he stopped Jesse Magdaleno. So he's looked good in his last fight since he lost to Fulton. So I thought the momentum is with him. Whereas Fulton hasn't looked great. Obviously, he's fought only once. He took like a whole year out after the Inoue fight, and he came back and he hasn't looked very. He looked very rusty. So I thought the momentum, based on just the logic of past work and what you've looked like in your last recent fights, bro, I'm favoring Figueroa to win this rematch. I think Fulton's gonna really have to pull this one out of the bag. He really has to and get sharp quickly because we know the type of fight Brandon Figueroa is and what he's gonna come with. It's
Yeah,
pressure from round a billion punches
crazy,
from round one. A billion
crazy.
punches from round one. It's nuts.
So if he's height and reach, he does the opposite of what you should do. Just comes in and
Yeah,
scraps. Yeah,
yeah,
fair play.
yeah. But yeah, good fight, right? That's a good chief support.
Yeah,
We've got your boy Isaac Cruz against Angel Fierro. Uh, you know, shout out to your boy Isaac. He's always in the mix. Always in the mix. I'm sure if he
Pitbull
wins,
Cruz.
I was sure if he wins Pitbull, they will then say, yeah, he should fight this guy and this guy, this killer, whatever.
It's just tank.
Anyways,
Tank rematch.
oh, Mirko Coelho versus Christian Olivo Barreda. Coelho, I'm not too familiar with him. I know he's an undefeated featherweight contender from Argentina. But yeah, I haven't seen him before, so I'm not too sure in him. And then we've got Jason Rosario. He's still about. PBC always finds work for him. He's up against Jesus Alejandro Ramos. So yeah, it's a strong card for BBC. Fair play to them. They stacked it.
Pay per view
Yeah, Amazon
for us.
Prime pay-per-view. Come on, I mean, I don't even know if we don't get access to PBC pay-per-views anymore.
Not even on
It's,
Prime.
I don't think so,
All right,
because I swear their first Prime card we couldn't get it.
yeah, I don't think we did. Yeah, you're
I don't
right.
think we could. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Might be. I'll see. Yeah, we'll check. We
I'll,
should be
yeah,
able to at this point.
yeah. But yeah, it's on Prime anyways. It's Prime pay-per-view. T-Mobile Arena. It should be a good event still, and obviously I'll look forward to. I'll see how many thank you to Al Heyman, thank you to Al Heyman's I get. I'll be on my thanks to Al Heyman counter. I'll see how many fighters we see in the crowd with the bust down chokers, and we'll see if we see any drama as well between the fighters. Should be fun. But yeah, good card there. Only last thing to talk about, bro, is also just to mention that the GWOAT Clarissa Shields is in action on a Saturday, which was a bit random. No, not on Saturday, on a Sunday. She's defending her heavyweight titles because she's got the heavyweight titles now. I genuinely with Clarissa, I genuinely lose count of how many weight class she's undisputed in and whatnot. But She's fighting it, bro. She just out of it. She's quite interesting. She's fighting a chick called Danielle Perkins. Danielle Perkins, right? And I don't really know. I'm guessing she's a latecomer to boxing because she's 42 and she's had 5 fights. 5 fights, 2 wins by KO. Yeah, she turned pro actually in 2020, but it looks like she took a 3-year gap and so it only came back last year. So yeah, bit of an interesting one. But regardless, who doesn't matter who it is, bro. It's not even worth talking about. Clarissa Shields gonna win. It's the same result every single time. No one can beat this woman. I genuinely don't think there's any woman in the life that can beat Clarissa Shields. I'll be so real.
Yeah, not in those weight classes.
Bro, Savannah was the closest that we felt could potentially pose. And even she, as well, in your eyes, anyways, you was there. You said she got worked. So
all that preamble about we were bugging. Everyone was bugging. In my eyes, people can say it's close. Nah,
I thought it was a closer fight. Well, closer fight than what you did. You was there and you said no. Clarissa was treating her, but regardless, end of the day, Clarissa beat her, and Savannah was the best hope.
No one beat it again.
And now the only way Savannah can beat this girl is in PFL MMA, which they've discussed. They might fight MMA now. Even Savannah was saying she stopped calling for the rematch in boxing. She's now calling for the fight. So she herself knows that she can't beat this woman in boxing. Yeah. No one can. I'll be so real. No one can beat this girl. So yeah,
she got a gift for that amateur one and a legit gift and ran with it. Fair play,
bro. I would too. I can't lie. Right. I'm shameless. I would too. So yeah, big up to the quote. And I expect, I don't know, she'll probably call someone out. She'll probably beef someone, like, afterwards. I don't know. But really and truly, she can Keith Urban. You're so silly. You're so silly. I remember she was going that flipping Amanda Serrano over the whole the Gates. I think it was the most viewed fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's always got to be in her bonnet, hasn't she? So
always.
Yeah. Always. But yeah, still, she's that aside, boxing wise, she's actually genuinely untouchable. So she can retire today. Really, to be honest, she's nothing going to touch her. But yeah, I expect the usual Clarissa Shields win. Shout out to the greatest woman of all time, Clarissa Shields. I think that's it, bro. Unless you got anything else that I missed out on.
That's it, man.
No? Calm. Nice episode there. Cool, let's leave it there. This has been episode 232 of the Strap Season Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, you got know where to find us. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.